Even when it's wrong, it's right. We are back at Casa de Groves for a little afternoon delight. My main man, Marcel, on my right-hand side. My name's Darius.
It's afternoon for those.
Yeah.
Might not be when you're watching this.
Yeah, but for us, it's the afternoon.
It's the afternoon.
Yeah.
And we're delightful.
Yes.
So I've been told.
Now, that song's definitely about fucking. That song's about fucking.
Afternoon delight?
Yeah, that song's about fucking in the daytime. Like, why wait until the middle of a cold, dark night when the thought of loving you is getting so exciting? That song's definitely.
I don't know. I mean, afternoon delight could just be like.
No, that song's about fucking in the daytime.
No, it could just be about like having a sit down at the.
Okay, well, I had another song in mind, but if you want to listen to it, we can listen to it. That song.
Which one do you want to do? I'll just
Well, okay, because that's what I was saying. I was like, I got a song that's definitely about fucking, and then there's a song that might be about fucking.
Which one you want me to argue for? Like, what are we feeling here? Because I can argue either side. I'll take whatever we want.
If you want to argue that Afternoon Delight is not about fucking, I will take on.
I mean, I haven't heard it, but okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Afternoon Delight. That's the song today.
We're gonna pause for the cause here.
Do we think it's copyright? Do you want to look it up? What do you think?
I mean, it's old as shit.
Let's Google it. Well, so was fucking Country Roads, and that one apparently was too.
Yeah.
Afternoon Delight copyright. AI? It is.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's a pretty popular song.
Popular song. Well, folks, if you're new here and don't know what the fuck we're talking about, this is the fuck board. Every episode, we listen to a song, and we decide, is it about fucking, or is it not about fucking? So far, we've got Come on Eileen. We've got Cunt Re-Roads are definitely about fucking. And we've got School's Out, Gangs of Paradise, and Ego are not about fucking. And we're going to find out where Afternoon Delight is going to land on this list. So we're going to pause. It's probably copyright. Go listen to it yourself. Give it a pause. Go listen to Afternoon. Open up a new tab. Don't use this tab to search it, because then you're going to lose our video. So open a new tab. Go to YouTube or your favorite music platform. Afternoon Delight by Holmes. Do we know?
Starland Vocal Band.
Starland Vocal Band. Go listen to that. Oh, shit. Go listen to that, and then come right back after you're done. We're going to pause. 3, 2, 1. All right, folks. That's going to be a rough one for you, boy. All right, hear me out here, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Hear me out. All right, we're gonna try. Okay, what else could it be? Afternoon Delight is them going out and just having a campfire. Okay? They're going out into like the woods or into like, I don't know, maybe they're leaving their RV, they're already camping, and they want to rub those sticks and stones together to start a fire, and they're gonna rub each other with like bug spray or sunscreen, perhaps.
Okay.
And they're just gonna love their time. Maybe they're gonna have, they work up their appetite. Maybe they cook some hot dogs. That's my best thing. That's the best I got.
So you think the song's about camping?
Personally, no, but devil's advocate.
Sake of the argument, yeah.
Sake of the argument, yes. The song is about. I mean, it doesn't have to be camping. It could be any activity that involves
maybe a Boy Scout
eating and rubbing sunscreen on you. Maybe like at the pool or something. You grab some snacks by the pool, chilling out, rubbing the sunscreen on.
Why are you
the rubbing definitely has to be sunscreen.
Yeah.
Starting a fire by the pool? I don't know. I mean, maybe you're... Wait, how about this? Your kids are across from the pool in like the yard, and they're lighting that skyrocket that was in flight, and they need to rub sticks and stones together to light the fuse for the skyrocket. Okay? I mean, come on.
I'll give you an A for effort.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I'll give you an A for effort.
Not convincing you, though?
No, I think that one is as close to a layup as you can get without,
Afternoon.
I will say, though, for modern artists, please take note. Because, granted, they were pretty on the nose with, the thought of rubbing you. But other than that, they had some great metaphors for fucking, I feel like.
Skyrocket in flight?
Yeah, that's man. Come on, dude.
Well, I mean, Country Roads had a good metaphor. That one was very good.
That whole song
just going down
metaphor,
a road.
Yeah.
I mean, that one was an incredible metaphor, truly. So,
yeah.
All right, well, I tried. Let me know in the comments that I convince you. I didn't convince myself. Did I convince you that Afternoon Delight is not about fucking?
Again, though, dude, I think you might have missed your calling as a lawyer. You did present a little bit of reasonable doubt, you know? Like, I mean, you didn't technically. But, like, in a court of law, though, you know what I mean? It's like, damn.
I think I would have been an okay lawyer.
Yeah,
But you got to go through, like, school for, like, 17 years and take a big exam for that shit. But,
Yeah.
no, I think I'm great at arguing stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Is just, you just got to put enough doubt in there to where they're like, okay, well, I can't be 100%, you know?
Yeah. I only have to hit reasonable doubt. I don't have to convince you.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's that one for the day. I think, is it you up next? Where are we at?
I think it was.
Yes. Maybe Ben Affleck is Batman.
Now, you know I'm very passionate about Batman.
Of course.
Yeah, that's like, you know, as an average Joe in a world full of superheroes, like especially at work, that's how I feel. Like I feel like, you know, everybody else has like this one superpower, you know, and I'm just like this fucking regular guy bumbling around. So Batman, like, you know, regular guy bumbling around amongst a bunch of
Regular guy.
Yeah, well, not necessarily a regular guy, but a guy with no superpowers. I'll just say that.
Okay.
But you know, I've always shitted on Ben Affleck's acting ability, and like, while he's no Christian Bale, you know, like as far as like egregious Batman, I never felt like, you know, he was a believable Batman. But then, like, have you ever seen The Accountant?
Nope.
It's about this guy.
I know about it.
Yeah, okay, so you know the concept.
He's accounting, he kills people, right?
Well, but he's on the spectrum. That's why he's an accountant. So, like, and he's really good at, like, solving mysteries and, like, getting down to the bottom of, like, he usually gets brought in when a company is trying to figure out, like, who's laundering the money, why are they laundering it, when did it happen, how did it happen, and he'll look at the pieces of the puzzle and put it together, figure it out.
Is it a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie.
Okay.
But there was a sequel.
The Accountant 2?
Yes.
Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah. Well, there's no breakdancing.
Oh.
But he's back at it again, solving mysteries and killing people. And he does a really great job, man. Like, I just feel like I owe Ben Affleck an apology.
Well, but, like, were you hitting him as an actor, or were you hitting him as Batman?
I hated him as Batman.
Exactly.
But
I don't think you need to apologize.
Well, I feel like if he would have brought some of this, what he was doing in The Accountant.
Batman on the Spectrum?
Wait.
I'm going to say they're two very different characters. I don't think they...
That's got to be the earliest we've ever found our title.
Batman on the Spectrum. Where are we at? Where's that time? Timestamp 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Right world record.
That's got to be, and until, you know, we come up with an earlier title than that, we just got to remember 7 minutes.
Yeah, I'm never going to remember that.
I'll remember, because that was pretty fucking early.
Batman on the Spectrum.
But, no, but like, you know, just the way he was handling guns and kicking ass in that movie, like, I feel like if he would have done some of that as Batman, but like Batman doesn't kill, so maybe that's why he didn't bring that to the table.
Maybe not.
But it's just like, damn, dude, maybe give him another crack at being Batman. Like, after I saw that movie.
Okay.
Like, yeah, like
you want to see Batman on the Spectrum?
I guess
new movie. New movie coming out in theaters near you guys this summer. Batman on the Spectrum.
Book it, Hollywood.
Ben Affleck as the actor, of course.
You're looking for more concepts. Yeah, just like make it like some long, convoluted backstory where the accountant becomes Batman. And I will be thrilled because, yeah, he did a great job. And if you haven't seen that movie, you like shit blowing up, you like a wholesome... Because there's also like a underlying story with him and his brother. They were estranged, then they got reunited, but then like from the Accountant 1 to the Accountant 2, Ben Affleck doesn't reach out to his brother in like 8 years. So his brother's like, dude, what the fuck? Do you even care about me at all? You know?
He's on the spectrum. He doesn't care.
Exactly. So there's that. And then, you know, there's like a scene where he's like finally like romances a chick, and like he was so cool about that because like, you know, it's hard for him to socialize, but apparently he was really good at line dancing and he never knew it. And just like watching him discover
good at line dancing.
Yeah, watching him discover that he was good at line dancing was really fucking wholesome. And then his brother's like, that's my fucking brother out there, look at him go, like he's picking up a chick. It was wholesome fun about murder. And
wholesome fun.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a movie, The Accountant 2, I would highly recommend. It's wholesome, good murder and fun.
Okay, well, my next topic, I don't remember what the fuck I was going with here.
The mystery dash?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know.
That's the problem,
That's
though.
that's why I think we got to do like 3 episodes. We got to catch up, man.
Yeah. Because, that was so long ago.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
what, almost 3 weeks?
Yeah.
3 weeks, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, no, not 3 weeks.
But then, like, I feel like
Close
if
3
we
weeks. It's a lot.
have no topics, and then we go into that week, like, sometimes there's like, well, we don't got shit to talk about. But then I guess we could jump to, like, the comments. Like, those are
I have a lot.
weeks
I mean, we
to go
got a ton of those to go over.
Okay.
So we could we got too much content, folks. What do we do?
That's a good
We've never
problem,
been here before.
Get a bonus sode this week. All right.
Yeah, well, they're gonna get one a week. We would just get like a break one week or something.
All right. So then it's back to me then?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of Go-Go Loser Rangers?
I have not.
If you've got Hulu, folks.
I don't.
Well, if after
True
we
tragedy.
finish at Alice in Borderland, I might have to insist that we watch
Okay.
Go-Go Loser Rangers.
Go Loser Rangers.
It's basically, if you're familiar with the Power Rangers, you know that the fodder bum guys that they would beat up, the putties, like the little
I haven't
gray...
seen Power Rangers in like decades, man.
Well, okay, before they fight the
And I'm
main
only
monster.
20.
Before they fight the main monster, they have to go through like the little army of minions, the little gray guys, the putties.
Okay.
So in Go-Go Loser Rangers, it's from the perspective of the equivalent of that. They're just called fighters.
Okay.
But they're these little guys, they're dressed in all black, and they have like skeleton faces. So it's from the perspective of one of the fighters, and like all of the main monsters have been killed off. And the guys that are, the equivalent of the Power Rangers made a deal with the remaining monsters. Like, we won't kill all of you guys, but every week you're going to have to pretend to be one of the monsters, show up in this arena, and we'll put on this fake fight and let the world think that we're still protecting the world. So, like, they're these fake superheroes that are duping everyone into thinking they're protecting them while, they're secretly doing villain shit in the background. So it's kind of like The Boys in that sense, where the superheroes aren't really the heroes.
Yeah.
But, like, the fighters, they're not necessarily good either. They're just trying to, not get killed by these evil people that are making them play this role. So, like, it's fantastic. I love it. It's like, just from this perspective of this lowly guy, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to tear this whole system down. And it's his journey trying to infiltrate, because the evil Power Rangers have this whole army of like underlings and like cadets and like people training, so like if one of the Power Rangers die, they can take on that mantle basically. So he goes and pretends to be a cadet, because the fighters, they can shapeshift. That's how they pretend that they're one of the monsters each week. So he pretends he's a cadet, and the whole time it's like, oh, if I get hit one time, they're gonna find out I'm a monster. So you're on edge the whole time, like, oh man, nobody hit him, like, and then they'll show like him doing the shapeshifting thing, and like just him trying to infiltrate, and then he's slowly becoming more human, and then you realize that there's other cadets in the whole Power Ranger army, and they're working covertly trying to become Power Rangers so they can change the system, and he's making friends with people that want to change things. Wholesome, good murdering fun.
Wholesome, good murdering fun. Once again, it's a recurring theme I've seen.
But yeah, I fucking love it. If you've got Hulu, check it out. It's like 20, 30-minute episodes. You don't have to waste an entire day to get, your fill of anime karate action. It's a good time. I love it.
All right, well, what if I hit you with a dual hit right here? Wholesome, killing fun, and you know how we talk about video games sometimes on the show?
Yeah, every
once in a while, now and again. I'm playing a video game right now. It's called Bravely Default Number 2. It is a JRPG.
Okay.
So
I'm automatically.
You're already interested. I can't decide if it's good or not. I am like probably 40 hours in or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I can't fucking tell. I can't decide.
Is it in your series? Like, are you going to review it on your channel?
I mean, I will, but it's on Steam, so it's going to be in like a year.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
So, okay. What are some of the pros?
So the problem is that the writing is simultaneously the shittiest writing I've ever experienced in a game ever, but also good at sometimes.
So it's so bad that it's good? Or
no.
Every now and again they'll do
Every now and again it's good.
Oh, okay.
But it's mostly really bad. Which overall you just say it's bad.
Yeah.
But then the combat and the class mechanic is really, really fucking good.
Well, that's the meat and the potatoes right there.
But the story, though.
Okay, it is an
It's
RPG.
really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, let me explain the story to you, okay? It's terrible. Your characters, your main characters, have a party of 4.
Okay.
Every single one of them has, like, no fucking personality and is just infallible good. Like, they just, everything they do is just because it's the right thing to do. Let's save the world because it's the good thing to do.
Okay.
Okay, they have, like, very little character development. Your main character, his whole thing is, well, one of the other characters picked me up off the beach after my ship crashed, and so now I'm just going to stick around with her. Like, he has no reason to be on this quest other than he's a good guy and the quest is good.
Now, is this the main character?
That's your playable character that you can name. That's a character that you get to, like, choose the name of.
Yeah. So, okay, wait, but he met a girl, and he's like, I'm just going to
Yeah, so there's 4 party members.
So he's in love. It's love at first sight.
I mean, maybe they want a bone. The game is, like, for kids, though. There's not going to be any boning.
Okay.
It's not a bone. It's like E.
Okay.
Rated E for everyone.
Yeah.
There's no boning.
Well, maybe he
involved.
wants to hold her hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
The girl who saved him, she's a princess, and she just knows everything that needs to be known. Like if there is exposition that the player needs to know, she will tell it.
Oh, okay.
She is exposition dumping all the time. That's her personality.
She's the plot device.
That's her character development, is that she knows everything.
Okay.
And she's a badass princess. She's not like a princess that's like, oh no, I don't want to get my feet wet. She like just goes crazy with it. So a little bit of character development there.
Okay.
Minor amounts, but for the most part, she's just exposition dump, and she also asks questions that like are foreshadowing. And she's like, well, why did the person do that and not this? And it's like,
Oh, okay.
you
so,
fucking rat. Like, let me figure it out on my own, you piece
Damn.
of shit.
Damn.
Like, she does that too.
Okay.
Next character of your party of 4, number 3, he's just a guy who likes to drink.
Okay.
And he's on a quest to read a book, and he needs magic things to read the book, because the book is magic. And on our quest, we're finding the magic things. So he's like, I'll tag along and find the magic things with you. That's his character development. He likes drinking, and he's looking for magic things.
Is he also
And he has
a
a book.
womanizer?
No.
No?
He's very respectful.
Oh. Well, that's
Again, like they're morally good. These people don't do
okay,
anything
right, yeah.
bad.
So there's no
There
gray.
is no gray area. They are strictly good.
Because that's usually a JRPG trope, or like an anime trope even. Like the lush is also the guy that's like girl crazy, you know?
No, it's actually crazy because the last character, okay, has a big boner for him, and he doesn't notice it. So she is like totally fawning over this dude. She's coming along. You think at the start, you think she's just coming along because she has a boner for this guy.
Yeah.
And he's allegedly paying her. She's supposed to be a mercenary. So he's presumably paying her to protect him because he's pretty strong. I don't know why he needs protection, but I guess he was paying her for protection when he wasn't strong or something.
Well, is he a mage?
Yeah.
Okay, so he doesn't do the front line.
But, okay, the way the class system works, they can be anything. But he was a mage when he started. I'm not going to get into the class system right now. Let's go through the story first.
Okay, my bad.
So, he's there, she's protecting. Later on, where I just got to, we do get a little bit more character development on the 4th character, the crush lady. Turns out, she wasn't coming along because she had a boner for this guy, and then she's a mercenary. Turns out, she's actually the creator of the magic things that he's looking for, and she lost him and she wants to get him back.
Oh,
so that's why she's tagging
using
along.
him to collect him.
Not you. Again, morally good. Morally good.
Oh, okay, right.
She is not using him. She wasn't personally the one who lost him. Her family lost him, and she has to get him back for her family.
Okay, but so she's planning to keep these items though. But doesn't
He's
he
planning
want
to
them?
take them back. Well, he just wants to use them to read a book. Once he's done reading the book, he doesn't give a shit.
Oh, okay.
He'll give them to her after that. I'm sure, because infallible good, right? Everyone gets what they want. All the heroes win. Everything's good. Okay, so they're going through the prologue, right? You meet all your characters, your main characters, and then they introduce this old guy who's like the princess's like, right-hand man.
Yeah.
Like kind of advisor. There's the word I'm looking for. He's like super old. He's seen it all. And he's like, I'm going to join your quest. And when he joins the quest, it's like, okay, he's a temporary party member. He'll help you out in battle. And then we're going through a little bit, and I'm realizing that this temporary character, this advisor guy, has the exact same goal as we do. So if he's temporary, he has to leave the party somehow. But he has no reason to leave the party unless he dies. So I call it, I'm like, he's going to die. That's going to happen. He's going to die.
Damn.
This guy's going to die. It's going to be super obvious he's going to die. So we're going through. Guess what? We get into a battle against like the big bad, the super evil guy who's evil because he's evil. Right? I mean, God forbid he has any motivation other than just, I want to take over the world.
Yeah.
Right? So we're in this battle with him, and I like go through like one turn. I do no damage to him, and he hits me for like a bajillion. So I'm like, it's obviously a forced boss fight.
Yeah,
the advisor guy is going to come in. He's going to save the day. He's going to save us, and he's going to die. That's what's going to happen. I said it out loud. I put my controller down. I was like, okay, this is so fucking obvious. The advisor guy's going to come in, sack himself, and save us. Guess what fucking happened? Exactly that. He came in, he sacked himself, he saved us. And then he died, and then the prologue was over. And I'm like, all right, this writing's shit. It's too predictable. The characters suck. It's garbanzo beans, okay?
But you've got 40 hours.
I've got 40 hours.
Okay, so that speaks to the gameplay.
Gameplay's great.
Yeah.
I'll get into that after the story, okay? Gameplay's awesome. Okay, so let me go into chapter 1. Okay, we go to a desert. Okay, and going through the desert, it seems like just more shitty writing, right? There's some thief guy who stole the crystal. Again, our quest is we're looking for 4 crystals.
Okay.
He stole one of the crystals, and he stole it because he wants to be wealthy, and he can make water in this desert with the crystal. And obviously, if you control the water in a desert, you're going to be pretty fucking wealthy. So he just wants money. He's greedy. He's a thief. Pierre, are you going to not wag your tail in front of the cameraman? That'd be great. Okay.
He's excited.
So he's just evil because he wants to be evil. And all the bad guys are just like, they're just evil because they're evil. Okay. And you go and you like recruit the prince of the town to take down this thief guy. And it just looks like you're just going through it as you would. And then they hit me out of fucking nowhere with the crazy twist. The prince was the bad guy also. Not all along, but also
but
in addition.
Yeah.
Too, right? The thief was not good. He was bad.
Yeah.
Bad all the way through. But the prince ends up killing the thief and takes the crystal for himself and is like, now that I have the crystal, I'll be able to save my town. And I was like, that's actually some decent, it's like an okay villain. Like, you want the power because you don't want your society to crumble. We had just, notable of the story, we had gone to a previous civilization, like a neighboring town in the desert, that did fall because they didn't have enough water and resources. It's like, it made sense. He cares about his city or town that he's a prince of, and he wants to make sure that they don't,
Now, was this guy in your party?
He was a temporary party member.
Okay. So he came after the other guy.
He came along for the thief, but he wanted the crystal.
Yeah.
Right, and this came out of nowhere. Right, now I do want to point out this bad guy, or the prince, did start off being a little bit racist. Okay? So I was kind of like, this guy's pretty bad, but then he apologized for being racist.
Oh, so you thought that you'd kind of...
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, like, okay.
Yeah.
No big deal. So, but then obviously, God forbid, someone good in this story on your team is also slightly bad or has like any sort of development whatsoever. So
it's like, nope, he's a villain.
He turns out he was bad. He killed his dad on accident, notably, but he was still like overrun with power. And then I think he ends up dying. We never see his dead body, so I'm sure he'll be back, obviously.
Yeah, probably some sort of like grotesque monster.
Yeah, but then the whole time that you're here, they do it in the worst way possible. Because they'll just show you like a cutscene for the player, not for your characters, that the big bad is conversating with his underlings, and he's like pulling all the strings. So somehow the big bad is responsible for the prince and the thief doing this stuff. But it's not clear yet. I'm only 40 hours in and it's a JRPG, so I got another...
Yeah, probably
another 100 hours.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's going to be a while.
It's going to be a bit before we understand that. But it's like, they're showing teasers. Again, it's done terribly, right? It's not like you, the player, from the eyes of your character, get to see, the villain pulling the strings. No, they just give you a cutscene of the villain literally pretty much just saying, I'm pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not well done at all. Okay? But I was pretty surprised. I was kind of back in it, into the story, right? Like, before that I was like, whatever, fuck this story. I'm just here for the gameplay. And then they come up with the prince, backstabbing the thief. And I was like, okay. It's like, all right. It's something. It's there. It's not great, but it's there. So that was pretty good. And then I go to the next town. And the next town, because obviously every town you go to has a crystal and a big bad, right? That's just how it works, right? Big bad of the first town was the thief and the prince. The next town, guess what? Another classic trope. It's an artist that kills people and uses their blood for ink. Well-known trope used all the time.
What?
What do you mean?
In what other medium?
Well, in League of Legends, there's the painter guy.
Oh, well, see, I'm not familiar.
I feel like that's pretty common. Like, you have a psychotic artist who just will do anything they want to create the perfect work of art.
Well, okay, yeah. But, like, to use blood as the ink, though. Like, okay, well, I guess there was a guy in Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay.
I rest my case.
Fair enough, my bad.
It's been done before. It's not original. That's the point, okay? So we're in this town, and at first we don't know that it's a painter. And we just know something's wrong, and we go about, and like people are being mind controlled, and we like unmind control them. And then, you know, we find out the evil's lair, and we go into their lair, and they've got paintings on the wall. And then like you read, like they wrote like a description of the painting, and they're like, oh, my life is so fucking hard. I grew up rich, but my parents didn't pay any attention to me, and I can only find joy in painting. And then you meet up with them, and it's like some kid that's like fucking like, you know, like 17 or something like that. And they have a horrible accent. Everyone in the game has like the most British accent of all time.
Oh.
Somewhere over in Europe.
Yeah.
But everyone has a different, like one's Irish, one's British, one's like German or something. Like it's like they're all from Europe, but they're all not the same Europe. So it's weird. So they got a weird ass accent. And I think she was probably like French because she's an artist. She's like, I got the push. And, you know, she paints some magical painting that like attacks you.
Wait, what'd she say?
I don't know her words. I just said oui oui because that's what French people do. Oui oui, with the paintbrush. So naturally you're like, okay. So we kill her, and then again we don't actually see her die. We were fighting her in a cave, and the cave came crumbling down, and we all left because the cave was crumbling, but she stayed because she couldn't leave her master work of art. Naturally.
Which was what, like a bunch of dead bodies or something?
Well, the red paint that she used in her work of art was made with blood from dead bodies that she killed. But the painting itself like made no sense. It was like, it didn't look like anything. It was cool, but it wasn't like
anything. It was abstract.
Yeah, abstract. That's the word I'm looking for. So the cave comes crumbling down. Did she die? We don't know. We don't have a body. So again, she's probably going to come back.
Oh, man. So, yeah, maybe, like, after you go through each town, the big bad is probably going to bring back, like, these grotesque monster versions of everyone you've faced in some kind of gauntlet, where you have to fight all of them, and then him, and then the resurrected version of him, I would imagine.
Possibly. We don't know. But the only body we know died was the thief. The thief was indeed stabbed by the prince.
Ah, yeah.
But every other big bad is still alive. We never saw the body. Okay, so next town, and this town is now again. So that storyline was pretty mid, right? Unoriginal villain. The villain is doing unoriginal things. You kill the villain. You move on. Okay, nothing super exciting. The next town, would you believe it? But it is another overused trope. It's the Salem witch trials. They're killing people because they are not a witch, and they're like throwing them off a cliff, and they're saying, well, if you live, then your faith in our God is strong enough and he'll save you. But if you die, then obviously you're a witch.
Oh, wow.
Right? And it's just like, okay, well, and it turns out, guess what? The God never saved any of them.
That's what I was just going to ask. Like, did anybody live through this test?
Nobody lived. So we're obviously, the newcomers into this town are like, you can't just be killing people. Like, that's bad. But everyone's all, in this religious cult, and they're all like, no, it's fine, man. If they believe hard enough, they'll be saved. But obviously, like, some doubt, like when your friend gets thrown off the cliff, you're kind of like, well, now, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Are we sure they're getting saved? Because they're not coming back to town. So that's what's happening. And then, well, this is where it kind of got a little bit interesting, a little bit done differently. We went and met the god, the Lord they serve, who happens to be a dragon. They like dragons. So we go to the dragon, and I'm just like, okay, we actually got to meet the dragon. That's kind of cool. So we meet the dragon, and he's like, yeah, I'm too weak to go save these people because I'm like a fucking bajillion years old. If I leave this cave that I'm in, I'm not coming back because I'm just going to die. So that's why I can't save these people. So I need you as the party to go save these people for me. So obviously we got to go save these people. So we go off. We're saving these people. And one of our friends, like one of our temporary party members that we made, is about to be thrown off the cliff, gets thrown off, and turns out the fourth party member, the girl who has the crush on the guy,
He just went not that long ago.
is actually a witch. And so she, well, not actually a witch, it's fairy, but she jumps off the cliff, uses her witch powers to save the friend, and then everyone's like, holy shit, there's actually a witch! Because this whole time they knew, deep down, there was no witches.
There was no witches, they were just killing people.
Yeah, they knew. They knew, right? And so they're all just like shocked, like, what, an actual witch? What do we do? Right? So we kill the big bad guy who's throwing everyone off the cliff, and we save the town. And then the super big bad, the one that's pulling the strings, decides to attack the town. For some reason, I'm not entirely sure why. He decides to attack the town, and I'm like, where's the dragon at? Like, you can leave your nest one time. Now's the fucking time. Guess what happens? The dragon comes in and saves the fucking day. And he dies.
Yeah.
Who could have seen it coming, man? Who could have known?
Okay, so you know me being me, I have questions.
Go ahead.
This dragon speaks English, yes?
Yes.
Was it a treacherous journey to make it to him? For you guys?
No.
Why didn't anybody else go talk to
That's what I was saying. What's even funnier, right, is the person that was thrown off that was our friend was the guardian of the dragon. So it's like she could have just been like, yo, guys.
Yeah, like...
Of course, what would have happened if she did that? They would have just said,
threw her off,
they would have said, you're a witch, get off, you know.
But
so.
like, I mean, like, okay, like we could all go and we could hear from him that he doesn't want people to get thrown off this cliff. Like, what?
I mean, I had to go through a dungeon. There were some enemies, so like maybe.
Okay, so the average like farmer is not gonna go.
Yeah, but like any warrior, it wasn't that difficult of a dungeon. Like if you were sneaky, it wasn't long. You could have gone through it. Like there was no reason no one had gone and visited you. Although it was like forbidden, you know, for people to go in there because it's the god's sanctuary or whatever.
Oh,
so
okay.
Religious reasons people couldn't do it. So like minor reasons, but like they were getting thrown off a cliff.
Right, yeah, like, it's life or death.
Someone's going.
You know, yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the dragon, man. Like, especially too, if motherfuckers that just got to town are gonna go talk to the dragon and they're willing to just take their word for it, you know, like there wasn't any debate, like, oh.
Well, no, I had to kill so what happened was there's the big evil guy who talks to God.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's his right-hand man who's like, we must throw the witches off the cliff. And then a little bit below that, there was like a bishop guy, and his daughter got thrown off and killed. So we went to him and we were like, yo, bro, are you seriously going to believe this shit? And he's like, I'm kind of doubting now that my daughter is the one who died. So we kind of got him on our side, and he went down to see where the bodies were, and he noticed that they were all dead and none of them got saved. So we were able to convince him, and then we just killed the other two people above him, and then he became
top guy in charge. Okay.
And that's where I'm at. That's my 40 hours. Man. So how do you feel about the story? Do you think it's good?
I mean, no, it's not a nail biter, but you're not gonna get like there's more than one way to skin a cat, but when it comes to JRPGs especially, like I was waiting for it, which like that was like the first one. Like there's gonna be a guy that joins your party that doesn't stay because he's gonna turn and be a bad guy, not the main bad guy. You know, there's the rebellious fucking monarch that like, you know, kind of like, yeah, I'm, you know, royalty, but I'm still gonna get out and get my hands dirty and fight people and shit. Like there's certain tropes that you're gonna get. Like, so I mean,
like all of them,
and
so hard all at once. You know, it's like they were just like, "What trope are we missing, guys? We got to get it in there."
Yeah,
you know.
Oh, and you got time to go, so yeah, they're probably gonna squeeze in a few more.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, well, what's happening now? Like right before I stop playing, is that guess what? The big bad guy. The reason he attacked this town was to get rid of the dragon, who was the only thing that in his eyes could stop him. And now he's laying siege on all the other 3 towns that I've been at all at once. And I have to go to each town and save the day.
Yeah. So now you got to double back. Oh, damn. So you're probably close to the end then if you're already doubling back.
I think from looking, because I had to look some stuff up. Well, I didn't have to, but like I wanted to find all the chests and read about the optional bosses.
Yeah.
When I was looking that up, I was kind of spoiled that there's at least 8 chapters. And I'm at the start of chapter 4.
Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah, literally halfway.
The start of chapter 4.
Yeah. Well, okay.
There's going to be chapter 8 and an epilogue, I would assume.
Oh.
But there was a prologue, so you got to have an epilogue. Yeah. So we're not halfway.
Almost.
Almost halfway. But I'm like, if I double back, and that's chapter 4, where's 4 more? You know, I'm like, how are we getting to 4 more?
Yeah, maybe it won't be town-based, you know? Maybe
I'm not sure. We'll find out. I assume.
But keep us posted, man.
Let me tell you about the combat, though. What has been keeping me going on these 40 hours with this shitty story? The combat, okay? The combat is great. The combat lets you, like, your turn is a resource. And you can take, like, a loan out of future turns, or you can skip your turn to save a turn. So, like, if I have an enemy, let's say I got one enemy, just a basic enemy, and I need 2 turns to kill him. I can take out my next turn as, like, a loan for this turn and just kill him right now. And then since the battle ends, I don't have to pay my loan back.
Right.
I kind of cheated the bank.
That is kind of a cool concept.
It's really cool.
If the enemy had survived, then they would get 2 turns in a row.
Yeah, and the enemy has the... No, they don't get it. I just have to wait an extra turn before I get my turn.
Yeah.
But they have the same thing. So they, too, can take out a lone on their turn.
Shit.
Or if you block, or you do nothing, you pass your turn, essentially. You gain a little bit of blocking, and you save a turn. So your next turn, you can do 2 without having to wait again. So it's really cool. So you just get to bank up your turns. You have, like, a limit. You can only have at most 3 and at least -3.
Yeah.
So you got to stay in that range. But it's really well done. And then some of the really powerful moves will cost an extra turn.
Oh.
So, like, you know, one of my main move that I use right now that just slaughters fucking everything costs 2 turns. So I have to use it, but I have to wait 2 turns to be able to do it again.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Hyper Beam in Pokemon. I don't know, do you play Pokemon?
Not like that, but I get the concept.
Yeah, you got to wait a turn to like recharge it kind of thing. And some turns will cost you like 4 turns.
Damn.
You know, like some of the bigger ones will be like, you got to pay 4 freaking turns to use this big ass move. And it's like, wow, that's a pretty big move. Okay, and that alone pretty cool, right? You might say that's pretty cool. That alone would not be enough for me to play this game through that shitty ass story. The main thing that's doing it for me is the class system. It's so good. Okay, it is top freaking tier. Okay, so you only have 4 party members.
Yeah.
Right. Most JRPGs they like give you like 8 party members, and each one has a new class.
Yeah.
As you get it. This one there's only 4 characters. So how do you get more than 4 classes? Well, those magic things that we're collecting, they're a class.
Oh,
And you can equip any class that you want on the character. Really cool. And you get to have like a class and a subclass. And then if you level up the classes, you get passive skills, and you can choose any 5 passive skills to build with your other 2 classes.
So you can mix and match.
You can mix and match, and you can make really cool stuff. So right now, my super awesome Hyper Beam move that I'm using, I have a passive ability from a totally separate class that I'm not using it right now, but I leveled up through it to get this ability. It makes it not cost 2 turns. It only costs 1.
Ah,
so it's totally busted.
Yeah, cheat the system a little bit.
Yeah. So it's really cool. I love the class system, and each class only has 12 levels. So you can max it out relatively quickly and get all the abilities from it.
Yeah.
And then you can just focus on leveling up another one. And there's a ton of classes.
Huh.
Like a shit. Like I haven't been able to even touch a couple of them because I just have to level up the other ones.
Yeah.
For the cool stuff that's in them. There's like...
That sounds a lot.
Again, I'm only 40 hours in, and there's like fucking 25, 30 classes already. It's insane. They're really awesome. I love the class system.
That sounds a lot like Final Fantasy Tactics, the game that I was talking about.
It might just be.
Well, no, but that's not
they're both JRPGs.
Yeah,
so.
but that's a tactical RPG as opposed to a turn-based. I mean, well, it's still turn-based, but it's like...
You got a board. You got
yeah, you're assembling people on the board.
So that's my Bravely Default 2 rant.
Hey, man, that sounds like...
Gameplay is great.
Yeah.
The story, not so much.
Now,
but it's
what
carrying
about
me.
the visuals? What about the graphics?
Let me just show you. They're mid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're mid. Bravely, they're chibi.
Oh,
They're
like they're
chibi
little
folk.
tiny baby-looking
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not my jam. But again, that's a lot like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Hold on, wait a minute. We're just playing fun. Here you go. Here's the fucking graphics.
Okay, yeah. If Final Fantasy Tactics was current gen, I imagine that's probably a lot of how it would look. But yeah, Final Fantasy 9 also looked a lot.
Here's what like the combat looks like. Like you're in combat, you got your 4 dudes and then the enemy, like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's a fucking JRPG 101 right there.
Oh, something I didn't mention, which is the stupidest shit ever. I don't know why they added this. They added this whole sub game where you have to play like a card game. And like you have to play the card game if you want to unlock some of the classes.
Yeah.
It's like, why? And it's still, dude, they did the card game so terribly, man. Like it's cool. And I think the mechanics of the game itself are good. But when you like battle someone, like the amount of time it takes for you to go through all the menuing to just start the fucking game is so long. And then the enemy player, right, they already know what they're going to do. They're a computer. They know immediately their next move.
Yeah.
But they sit there and they like flip through their cards, acting like they're thinking about it. It's like, buddy, just play it. Like, I'm just play your move. Let me think about it. I don't want you to.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's so terribly executed, but like I want to do it because I want to get the classes because that's the best part of the fucking game.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's my rant. Rant over.
Final Fantasy IX had a card game that you had to play.
Dude, I mean they're both JRPGs, so it's like it makes sense. But
that's well, Final Fantasy X had Blitzball. There were several mini games in Final Fantasy VII, but yeah, that is typical JRPG.
I mean, it is very much a JRPG.
Yeah.
It is
Sounds
not.
like it. Yeah.
It is not redefining the genre whatsoever.
No, yeah, it sounds like it's like you said. They're like, we're just gonna give you everything.
Everything. You like those other games for these reasons? It's all here. It's like, no, that wasn't why I liked those ones actually, though. Yes, it was.
That's great.
All right, we're on to you now.
Is it?
The presents.
Oh, well, you can chime in on this, my dear. I was at my mom's house. Are we getting close?
No, we're at 40. I was ranting for so long. We're at 40 though. We got time.
I was at my mom's house and we were watching another terrible movie, and I saw the preview for a movie called The Presents. And in the preview, you know how movie previews, they'll have like what critics, their critique of the movie, and one of the critiques was the scariest movie you will watch in decades. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, my wife loves horror movies. We're going to go home and watch this fucking horror movie, man. And what sucked me in the preview was that the whole horror movie, it's a haunted house, but it's from the perspective of the ghost.
Okay.
So you're just watching the family, like, live their life, but turns out it's a pretty lame-ass ghost. Like, because literally it's just watching them. Like, it's not haunting them or pissed off at all. And in fact, eventually the ghost starts trying to save the family. So, like, it's not a horror movie at all. It's just this...
But was it the scariest movie you've seen in decades?
No! It wasn't scary at all.
How many scary movies do you think that critic has watched in the last decade?
Probably none. I would assume. Or, like... Maybe they were watching scary movies on the Disney Channel or something. I don't know. But, yeah, it wasn't scary at all. It was kind of sad. Because the ghost really wanted to help. Like, and it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a horror movie at all. It was a movie about this kid that liked to date rape and then murder chicks. And so this ghost is trying real hard to save this girl from getting date raped and murdered. But in the process of saving the girl, the brother of the girl, which he was an asshole, but it was still pretty sad, like, he died saving his sister's life. So, spoiler alert, I'm sorry if you've never seen The Presents. But, I mean, but like I said, if you're looking for a horror movie, it wouldn't have been, like, how did you feel about the movie, my dear?
It kept me entertained, like, because I wanted to know what was going on. It was the movie where it gripped me enough to where I wanted to know what was going on, but then when it was finally over, I was like, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah. Fair assessment.
So you wanted to get to the end to see if it was good, and then it wasn't good?
It wasn't. Yes, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't, because it was pretty fucking lame. And then, like, the guy that liked to date rape and kill chicks, like, they never explained why.
Well, I mean,
because, like, he's
a guy.
Well, they were rich kids, though, so it wasn't like...
Well, he's rich and a guy. What more do you need? Obviously, he's going to date rape girls.
But didn't they say, like, he was the most popular kid in school, basically? So, like...
Hello? That's like your stereotypical date rapist, man. But, like, I could have told you he's a date raper without even knowing. You tell me he's rich, a boy, and popular at school? He is hating women. He thinks they're all objects, man.
Well, I mean, which he did, but I don't get that, like, why a guy that could have any girl in his fucking hemisphere would have so much hatred for them.
He's popular. He gets all the ladies. They're just constantly swarming him. He can't handle it. He's like, oh, these ladies, they never leave me alone. I gotta kill them. The only way I can get them to leave me alone is to rape them.
It didn't make sense to me. But, I mean, if you're into, like, a movie that I've spoiled the ending for.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah. Check out The Presents. I wouldn't watch it again, or if, like, I could, like, go back in the past and tell myself, like, hey, spend that hour and a half doing something else, I'd probably do that.
Who's a papa? Well, there you go, folks. The Presents. My next notable thing here. I've realized it. It only just now realized it. Dudes fucking hate listening to women talk about childbirth and pregnancy?
I can't.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't.
You can't tell me I'm wrong.
can't.
Every dude fucking hates it. Case in point, here's my proven fact, okay? If you're like, well, maybe there's some guys out there who like it. No, there aren't. Office party, okay? There's some preggies at my office. They were having a baby sprinkle. Oh.
So not
It's
quite
not
a baby shower, yeah,
a sprinkle, which I'm like, why the just call it a shower? Just call it like a mini shower.
So like, was it for more than one lady? Though?
It was only one. I assume the other one's probably gonna have her own thing.
So did they just give her shitty gifts? Why is it a sprinkle?
I didn't go. Okay, that's the whole point. I've realized that men hate it.
You know?
Because I didn't go. But during the time, I had to go find someone. I had to go talk to, I don't know. I had to go find someone for something. And I walked around the office. Every dude was at their cube. Every girl was missing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, all right.
Well, in that regard, like most of the time, unless it's like a couples thing, you're not inviting dudes to a baby shower, though.
Well, they invited everyone in the office. We all got the email.
Oh, so you guys just opted not to go?
Yeah. It wasn't like, it wasn't like, oh, we didn't know about it. No, it was like we got the email. We knew it was happening. We did not buy gifts and we did not attend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, why do we hate it so much? Right? That's the next question. Why do dudes hate baby showers, women, pregnant, not women in general, pregnant women, and when they talk about pregnant? It's because the woman, when they're pregnant, they're emotional. And you can't talk to an emotional woman and win, ever. It's not possible. But the woman is already emotional. You've got her in a state where other women are reminiscing about their emotional times.
Yeah.
So if you put a dude in there, there's nothing you can say that's going to win.
Well,
You can say, oh, you look great today. Somehow you're going to get attacked for that.
it is their ultimate trump card.
Exactly.
Because, like, the closest thing we have to childbirth probably is, like, either a kidney stone or getting kicked in the nuts.
Right.
And, like, as far as, like, if you talk to a woman about being in pain, like, you can't, there's nothing you can say that would be the equivalent of childbirth. So I think there is some resentment from us in that regard. Like, there's nothing we could say that would ever compare to that. So I can see your point in that regard, that, like, there is a bit of resentment there.
Well, I think that's like the main reason, not like the resentment, but just like, what am I supposed to say? If I go to this baby sprinkle, what am I going to do other than not be able to talk out of fear that I'm going to get, say something wrong that's going to make someone cry because they're all emotional?
Well, but I mean, in all honesty though, like, how is that any different than talking to a woman that's not pregnant?
I think like a non-pregnant woman doesn't have like an excuse to fall back on. Like if you say something that like
If it's that time of the
insults
month,
them,
they do.
no, frick that noise, man. I feel like when they're pregnant or when they're talking about being pregnant, it's just like, like if you're like if you could do anything defensive, right? They like attack you and you're like, well, okay, hold on, I didn't mean it that way. Then you just be like, have you ever given a birth? Have you ever gone through childbirth or pregnancy? And then you're just like, you have to shut up, right? But if you're just talking to them normally, they can't. I mean, they could pull that card, but it would be like out of nowhere, right?
Well, it wouldn't be though. Like, especially because, like,
I think it would be.
If there's a bunch of women working in the same place, and they make that argument, there's probably going to be at least one other person that's also experiencing that time of the month. And if not, they're all women, and you're not going to win.
I don't know. I feel like if I'm just talking to a woman in general, I'm not worried about them pulling the trump card. But if I'm at a baby shower, I am absolutely terrified of them pulling the trump card.
Yeah. I don't think you've just been around enough women, man. Because, like, honestly, like, I don't know, I'm sure I've told you before, but, like, my uncle, he had a famous catchphrase. It was, you can be right or you can be happy.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I've always just, like, grown up behind enemy lines. So, like, there's no point in trying to debate or, like, you know what I mean? Or, like, there's no winning.
Exactly. There's no winning.
There's no winning.
And it's even harder to even consider winning when they're pregnant.
Yeah, no, I won't argue with you there. But, like, that's what, like, for me, just to, like, try to keep my head down and, not, argue or, be worried about that. Like, I just, I would assume that, there's no victories to be had.
So ladies, if you're watching this, don't invite a guy to your baby shower. He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to have to say no. Just don't invite him. He doesn't want to be there.
I think by and large, like I said, I mean, work functions is one thing, but like, I've never been invited to a baby shower in the wild. Well, no, I take that back. We went to one, didn't we?
But were you invited or was Nicole invited?
As a couple, no, we were invited.
Okay.
As a couple.
As a couple, though.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never like solo been invited to a baby shower.
Yeah, we don't want to go, ladies. We don't. Just tell us it's okay. Like if you're invited as a couple to go and you have a man in your couple, just tell your man it's okay. Give an excuse. You know, when you get to the baby shower, be like, oh, you know, George, he had work. You know, he has had a lot of work. Had a rough day. You know, like give us an excuse to get out. We don't want to fucking be there.
Yeah.
Do girls want to be there? That's my question. Is that like enjoy? I knew it. No one wants to be there. I knew it.
Well, because I mean, ultimately, it is just an excuse like, hey, buy me some shit. You know, that's what a baby shower is.
It really is.
And I mean, babies are expensive. I get it. You know, but...
Well, don't have one if you got the money.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, right.
Well, I knew it. So, okay, if you're a lady who is pregnant, just don't have a baby shower. The ladies don't like it. The dudes don't like it. Just don't have one. There we go. We've done it. We've solved pregnancy.
Yeah, just stop it. Yeah, just don't.
All right, let me check time real quick. Okay, we got plenty of time here. I've decided that I think I'm going to become a lobbyist.
What do they do?
They have a lot of money.
Okay.
And they convince the government to do things, sometimes using their money.
So they're like rich people that influence government?
Or companies.
Just by being rich?
Yeah.
Huh.
And they're like, yo, I'm rich, do this thing. And so I was thinking we get super duper rich, we give the government a whole bunch of money, and we say, save money. Don't pay people $3.93 for an expense report. Okay? Write these rules better so that people can't freaking claim reimbursement on like the craziest, stupidest shit of all time. Like, people don't need to be reimbursed for their internet. It's 2025. Okay? Everyone has internet. You don't have to reimburse them for that crap. You don't got to pay them those $60 freaking a month because, oh, I started working in 2010 and you haven't updated your rules yet.
Wait. So you guys get reimbursed just for having the internet?
No, if you work from home. If you're required to work from home for your job,
you
get reimbursed for internet and potentially a cell phone.
There's nobody left doing that, is there then?
People who are required, there are some for DESI, people who like have to go scout out schools in a region that's like there's nothing fucking there. You know, like if you have to do like investigate reports and stuff, you know, like if a teacher has, you know, is reported to be like abusing kids or whatever, you got to have someone go out there, and it's cheaper for them to have someone in the area than to have someone drive to the fucking corners of Missouri.
But how is that an 8-hour-a-day job?
I'm presuming they do other things too. And they have internet, so they got to do something at home, right? I don't know what else they do, but that one of their job duties would be to also, you know.
Undercover teacher detectives?
Well, I don't know what they do. It's just an example. I'm sure they investigate other stuff. They probably investigate like, oh, is this, you know, cafeteria clean? You know, is the cafeteria food, you know, clean or something?
That'd be so fucking
Make
cool,
sure the hair ladies are wearing nets.
Yeah?
The lunch ladies are wearing hairnets. The hair ladies. The lunch ladies are wearing hairnets. You know, probably stupid shit like that. It's probably not very commonly, you know, an abuse case. It's probably just like, hey, go make sure that it show up randomly and make sure that hair lady's got her hairnet on. You know?
Yeah, make sure the janitors
actually cleaning the floors. Yeah, it's something stupid like that, right? I'm sure. Jeez. So, but yeah, it's those ones. There's not too many of them, to be fair. But like every single one of them gets at least $30, and if they've been there a long time, they get like however much they fucking want. And it's like, why are we doing this? Why are we paying anyone for internet? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, we aren't paying people who like have to drive into like I'm required to have some form of transportation to get into work.
Yeah.
Technically, I don't need a car. Technically, I could live nearby and bike, or I could walk, or I could take the bus. But any of those are going to cost money.
Yeah.
Okay? So why am I not getting reimbursed for those things? Because it's part of my fucking salary. Why are people not working from home using their fucking salary to pay for their fucking internet? It pisses me off, man. Sorry.
Well, but no, it's like you say, though. Like, it's 2025. Who's not gonna have the fucking internet? It's like, oh, if it wasn't for this job, you know?
Exactly. It's like there's no point. Like, okay, yes,
That is
15, 20 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe there was, some weird redneck guy who didn't want to have internet. And I'm sure there are a couple rednecks now, but it's 2025. You're going to hire someone for a job that requires remote work and needs internet access. You're asking in the interview, do you have internet access? Like, why are you applying for a job that works remote that needs internet access if you don't have internet?
Yeah, because if you say no, the next question would be, so then how are you filling out this
Exactly. It's like, why are you here? Like, it makes no sense. They need to catch up. They need to get rid of this crap. No one is living without a phone. Like, some people get reimbursed for their phone bill. There is not a single motherfucker on this goddamn earth who can afford a phone who doesn't use a phone.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, well, I wouldn't have a phone, but my job.
Yeah,
damn.
like them motherfuckers, they lucky.
They make me have to get a phone. It's ridiculous. Like, no. And like, technically, I'm kind of required to have a phone. How else would I notify my boss if I have to take a day off?
Yeah.
Like, I'm required by, like, regulations to notify my boss if I have a day off. How am I going to do that without a phone?
Yeah.
Send a freaking telegram? Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, I, too, am required to have a phone. Do I get reimbursed for my phone bill? No, because it's included in my salary. Ah!
Hey, man, I feel like
Ah!
Desi is the place to be, man. That's what it sounds like.
Ah! Okay, last thing that I'm going to talk about here, because I don't want to have Bravely Default in multiple different episodes.
Oh, you brought it
I already
back?
ranted too much. I talked a very minor amount of it back. So like when you get like status effects and stuff, obviously, and you can have like buffs and debuffs. And if like you have a resistance to like fire or whatever, it'll say on your what's it even called,
Like your armor?
well, yeah, if you have like armor, if you have fire resistance on your armor, then when you open up like a tab, a battle tab or something, like battle info tab kind of thing, it'll tell you like resistant fire,
Okay.
right? Or if you're immune to fire, it'll say immune fire. Well, one of my characters has the text that just says immune death.
Okay, yeah, I did see that in the Discord. So he can't be killed?
Not quite. They can't be insta kills. There's some moves that like
okay.
if you beat certain conditions, will just one tap you, and this character can't be one tapped. But it's still so fucking funny that it says immune to death. So funny. It's just like, yeah, he's immune to death. He just
That
can't
sounds
die.
like a Tarantino film.
Immune death.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I do want to gripe more about Bravely Default 2. The info screen for like, the battle info screen is horrible. Okay? The gameplay is great. The class system is great. The battle info screen does not give you like any fucking info that you actually want. Okay? It'll tell you what they're resistant to, like the enemy. It'll say, okay, you resists. No, sorry, it won't even tell you that. It tells you what they're weak to.
Yeah.
It'll say, okay, he's weak to fire, he's weak to axes, use that damage type on him. It won't tell you what they resist, it won't tell you what they're immune to, it won't tell you what they absorb.
Hey, man, kids these days, because back in my day, you had to cast a spell to find that shit out.
Well, you do have to do that too. Like, it won't tell you, like, okay, he's a weak to fire until you cast fire on him, right? But, like, it doesn't, like, if I cast lightning and it says lightning resists, there's nowhere that I can tell that I can go to, like, remind myself, okay, yeah, he's resistant to lightning.
No, what I mean is, like, you have to cast a specific spell, like in Final Fantasy, it's called Scan. And then it'll tell you, oh, this person's resistant to lightning, strong, like, immune to blah, 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 blah. But, like, if you don't cast that spell, you're never going to find that out. Like, I mean, granted, like, you could cast lightning and then it only does, like, 12 damage.
So it doesn't tell you resist?
No.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
man. So,
Well, this game has that too. It has the examine function.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tell you resistances or immunities. It only tells you weak. And I'm like, immunity is something that I would like to know.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, okay, the exam function doesn't tell it to me, but once I cast it, then I can just know, okay, he's immune to fire. It'll tell me somewhere. No, it doesn't tell me that anywhere. I can't, like, click into more details and see. It's not like, oh, the quickly accessible stuff. It just tells you the weaknesses, but if you click on the guy, then it'll show you more depth. No. And then, okay, that's okay, sure, not a huge deal. Not that bad, right? You just gotta remember what this character is immune to and just don't hit him with it. That's not too difficult to do, right? What I hate even more is that when you're afflicted with some sort of status effect, right? Let's say you're paralyzed, you're asleep, you're charmed, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
You'll go to this info screen and it'll tell you, hey, you're paralyzed. But it won't tell me what the fuck paralysis does. Okay? Like, I can use my gamer sense to know, okay, it's going to take me a while to get my next turn.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's paralysis. But there's stuff like Doom. The status effect Doom. What the fuck does Doom do? Like, I didn't know until I let it count down and it insta-killed me. I'm like, oh, okay, it's an insta-kill after 5 turns. Now I know. But it's like, let me know what it is, man.
It sounds like this game is made for someone that plays JRPGs all the time.
I'm sure it is, but it's
and they just expect you to know shit like that.
Like charm, right? The charm debuff, right? It makes it so that you randomly perform an action on one of your teammates.
Yeah.
Which apparently you knew. I didn't know that shit. And it can also apparently be removed by attacking. Like, if you take a damage, it gets removed. I didn't know that shit.
Snap them out of it, yeah.
That shit would have been nice to know.
Or like, that's probably how you, is that if somebody gets put to sleep, you just attack them?
Yeah, you can also wake them up by attacking. Well, that makes sense, right? That one's, like, reasonable, right? That one's fine. But, like, the charm, I had no idea. I had to wait till, like, a tooltip came up in a loading screen that was, like, ways to get out of charm or to be attacked. And I'm just like, oh, well, I can hit you with my mage who does, like, 4 damage to you and wake your ass up.
Yeah.
Or get the charm off of you. I wish it would. And, like, there isn't even, okay. Right. Wouldn't it be that bad if there was like an option page where I could go to and read about all of the status effects, right? Outside of battle.
Yeah.
Right. Apparently there is one. It said in one of the tooltips, like, go to settings to read more about the status effects. I went there. I couldn't fucking find it. So it might be in there somewhere, but I spent like 3 minutes looking and I couldn't find it. So.
But then too, they probably also expect for people to either get a strategy guide or, read into it more. But yeah, it sounds like especially when you were saying like all of the tropes that they threw in, that like they wanted to make a game specifically for people that have just grown up or like just played a shit ton of JRPGs, and it's like, hey, here's more of what you need to hold you over until like the next AAA JRPG comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, it's just so frustrating. So like, I'm in battle and it's like, oh my gosh, another thing. Maybe this is relevant to other JRPGs, I don't know, but like characters will have like a counter ability. So like if I hit them with, physical attack, they'll sometimes counter physical attacks, and it'll tell me some of the attacks are so freaking fast, the text is on the screen for like half a second. Okay? And it says like counter physical attacks, right? And then they do something. And that text is there. That's the only way they counter. Is that you get that text and then they act immediately. And then, again, if the action is very fast, like when I was facing the thief, because he's so fast, when he would counter, I couldn't read it fast enough. It would say counter, and I didn't know what it fucking was countering, because it was disappearing from the screen so damn fast.
So you didn't know what to stop doing.
I didn't know what to stop doing. I'm like, dude, what is he countering? I couldn't tell if it was, just all damage. Is it physical damage? Is it my specific move? Is it my damage type? Like, I literally had to record my screen when he did it, go to the recording and like go through it frame by frame to see what he was countering. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to do that.
Most of them are slow enough where you can see what they're countering. I will say that was only one time where it was too fast, but one time is too many. Yeah. In my opinion.
Well, and especially like, I mean, I guess, and I really hate that when games are just like, we want you to lose a couple of times. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just sounds like they were just trying to cheaply, like, make you lose.
What I kind of like about that is the way the class system works. It kind of makes that feel okay. Because when you're leveling up a class to get, like, one of the more powerful abilities to take on your, like, main thing. Yeah. You only level up one class at a time, and it's your main class. So when you're just, like, grinding general mobs and stuff, you're using random classes to level them up. Right? It's not like your hardcore, like, main set build. Yeah. So you can go into a boss the first time, see if you can beat it with your, shitty random classes. And then if you lose, you say, okay, let's bring out the big guns. Yeah. Let's do this thing. We're going to sacrifice some XP because my class is already maxed out, but I know I can definitely kick its ass this time. Yeah. Because I got the info and the better class. So it
there's
feels
no
a little
other
bit
experience to gain if you're playing as a class that's already maxed out?
Well, you get main experience, right? Like your main level experience, but for class experience, you only get experience for your main class that you're using. Your subclass and any class that you're also kind of using a little bit doesn't get it, which is annoying, but it encourages you to use the other classes and level them up, so I'm okay with it. I don't hate it too much, but...
Well, and then there's endless possibilities if you can mix skills from, the classes together also.
It's not quite endless, So like the abilities, like the moves you use in combat, you can only have from two. Your main class and your subclass.
Right.
But then passive abilities that are like always active, you can take from any class. So I guess it wouldn't be infinite, but it'd be a very large ton.
Yeah, because you could,
there's a lot of different passive abilities out there.
That's what was so awesome about Final Fantasy Tactics. Like you could have like ninjas per se. Like their main ability was they could attack twice because they had two weapons.
Right.
So if you max out a ninja, you can put two weapons on any other class you wanted to. So if you're a monk, you can punch somebody twice. Or like fucking, and which that doesn't sound that impressive,
it's
but
very
monks
impressive.
hit really fucking hard.
Yeah.
So like shit like that. Like you can mix, like you could have a white mage that also does time magic or
I like the class system is. I mean, you're making it sound like every other JRPG apparently has a very similar class mechanic.
No, tactics, yeah.
Tactics, like other ones aren't like that.
Yeah, not so much. Like, there's classes in other Final Fantasies,
but you can't mix and match.
No. Like, and it will be locked to, like, one character. Like, Final Fantasy X, Lulu was the mage.
Yeah. That's my experience with most RPGs and JRPGs is, like, the character is the class.
Yeah.
And that's what I was expecting going into this. They introduced 4 characters, and then you like start getting the classes, and you're like, well, now hold on a second, that's not. And then they just throw so many classes at you. You're like, holy shit, how many are there? I'm only halfway through the game and I got 25. Like, how many are there? I don't know. Will they stop throwing them at me and say you just got to max out the ones you got, or do they just keep giving them to me? And it's crazy. You think like we're done. It's like, okay, we got healing mage, we got damage mage, we got axe person, we got sword person, we got spear person. And then they just, like, somehow make new classes. It's like, how did you fucking come up with this shit?
Well, you got thieves, Yeah,
we got the thieves. You got gambler in there. Obviously, you need a fucking gambler. Why don't you? Like, you got the black mage, you got the red mage, you got the white mage, you got the cleric thing, you got the oracle, which are all, like, mages, but they're all fucking different mages.
Yeah.
And then you got like, the frickin' chemist. There's a chemist guy. He just like makes shit.
Yeah, throws potions.
Yeah, throws potions. It's like, what? Huh?
Yeah, it sounds like that developer really liked Final Fantasy Tactics, man. Because,
maybe it took a lot of inspiration though.
Or just Final Fantasy in general, because like there's no red mages in Tactics, but there's red mages in I think it's Final Fantasy VI. I say.
Yeah.
There's black mages, white mages, oracle.
Black mage, red mage, white mage.
Is there a class or is there a job where you can like charm the enemies or random mobs? Like you can like convince them to join your side.
Beastmaster?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dude. Yeah.
You're not
like
charming them. You're
Fantasy,
capturing them, but you know.
And you said there's a spear guy. So in Final Fantasy terms, that's the dragon or the dragoon.
Okay, it's the same shit. Yeah, it's the same shit. All right. Well, maybe I should play Final Fantasy Tactics.
I think you would love that fucking game. There is a class in Final Fantasy Tactics where they kill people with math.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find that class in this game since I was
the calculator.
Inspiration. Well, the artist class goes crazy. Is there an artist class in Tactics?
Well, there's dancers and bards, but they don't draw, but they fight with art through music.
That's the thing that I kind of like, because every single boss that you fight, or like when you fight the artist, they have one of the magic things that gives you the class. Yeah. So when you beat them, you get their class.
Oh,
so that's another cool thing. It's like you see a boss and you're like, oh, that shit's a cool class. You kill him, you get the class.
Yeah, see, that's what I've always wanted out of Final Fantasy Tactics. So, it sounds like somebody really liked Final Fantasy.
And just improved it.
Yeah.
And then just said, fuck the story.
Yeah, basically.
Well, folks, we're well over time now. Oh, not too bad. Yeah. Well, we are over time. But we're going to thank you for joining us on our adventure, on our topics ranging from Batman to mathematicians. Yeah. It doesn't get much more intense than that. So, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, and as always,
Doug, jump off bed.
Philosophy.
They did not hear that. You gotta go.
Philosophy.
Okay, well, close enough.
I went from too low to too high.